It's the Center Fantasy Football Podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Yes! Yes! Yes, this is my favorite part of the game.
Analyzing all of the league matchups week to week.
You can't win!
Get him a body bag! Finish him!
It is a bit above average.
I said this sucks, and basically so do you.
And discussing the boom, bust, and hidden gem players throughout the league.
We ain't found shit!
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here?
I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. Laces out.
Touchdown!
And here's your host,
Allow myself to introduce myself.
David Harbatkin.
Hello and welcome to the Center Fantasy Football Podcast for week, I think it's 8 of the of season 5. We're here. I'm here with the millennials.
Hello?
And with the Commissioner Geese. This is well, I will say that the millennials and I just finished drinking and watching the Dodgers game, which was a really interesting game, but you know, heartbreaking at the end. And Geese just got back from watching your crappy movie. What movie? Oh no, you liked the movie today.
Yeah, only the brain was decent.
Yeah. Golden Circle and the Snowman, on the other hand, not so much.
Snowman sucks. Anybody who's going to see the Snowman, don't waste your time.
Yeah. So I guess let's go over these games from last week. We're past the halfway point of the season at this point. And I don't know, which game do we want to start on? Do we want to start on the Millennials game here?
I don't want to talk about it.
So we'll start on the Millennials game here. What?
There's a lot of games we shouldn't be talking about.
Well, I mean, you got off to a tremendous start.
No, you're starting with me. This is great. Thank you. Yeah. What a shit show. Amari, 244 points. Holy crap, millennials. I thought you were going to get 200 points this week. Well, I do like to say at least this much, that I trusted in Amari Cooper through all those lean weeks, and I reaped the rewards in a brutal loss. I still too bad your whole week didn't end on Thursday. I know.
On a week where Jordy Nelson only gets 2.3 points to Amari Cooper's 44. I don't even know how this happened. Like, Landry gets 22 points, 25 from Gurley.
It's pretty much Landry.
I guess, yeah. 3 points.
If Landry is a normal game, it doesn't somehow become a superstar in 1 week.
I mean, Frank Gore got 3.4.
And Dak Prescott didn't get 35. He's better than Alex Smith.
Yeah, that's true, too. I mean, he did play San Francisco, though.
Yeah, a 40 to 10. Look at Jordy Nelson and Ty Montgomery. If you have a Green Bay Packer player, you need to sell him. Because Hundley is not getting the job done for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Which sucks for me. Yep. I'm telling you, that Aaron Rodgers injury affected so many people.
Yeah, I mean, because you even had, like, Cobb on the bench with 3.5 points, but there's nothing you could do there. I don't know.
Yeah. I couldn't really make anything up.
Yeah, there's...
made better choices. It was just kind of... Well, Aguilar.
Yeah, you could have played Aguilar instead of Benjamin.
I guess Derek Carr would have netted me 5 more points.
Yeah, but I still don't think that even gives you the win, though, at that point, does it? Because you lost by 10, like a little over 10. So you add...
Yeah, because my flex was Montgomery. So if I put Aguilar into Montgomery, I would have won.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But, there's nothing you could do. It was just, I mean, Howard had a crappy game. McKinnon had a game that he hasn't had before. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a little gel at some point, but I mean, this is... I think Tillett escaped with a win here. I mean...
Oh, yeah. Well, it cursed me out on Thursday night.
I saw that.
Which seems a little rude considering he won the game.
I know. You should... you should curse him out now.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'm typing it right now.
Yeah, I mean... Whatever. Moving on to other pathetic games, let's look at the, let's look at your game, Geese.
They have to waste our time with this.
I mean, so Lombardi...
I'd rather watch the Snowman. First of all, this is the first time I think I've ever had a player play the entire game, every snap, and get 0 points like Eric Decker. I don't know what the hell was going on. He wasn't injured. They didn't bench him because he fumbled. He just didn't do anything. But he literally, there was 10 players on the Titans offense all game. I don't know what Eric Decker was doing. Yeah, I had Eric Decker in a different league, which is apropos of nothing, but 0 points is shocking.
Yeah.
How that happened. Not even anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, could you have cobbled together a win here? I don't know if you could have anyway. 28 points on your bench, so no.
No, and Kevin Coleman, that Atlanta Falcons team is suffering from the biggest Super Bowl hangover I've seen in a while. They are like a stacked team, and they can't do anything on offense, and it's really hurting my team.
I mean, Sanu got 12.5 points, so that's something. I mean,
he was overthrown. He must have thrown 7 passes over his head. He's wide open. I don't know what Matt Ryan's doing. He's horrible. I think it's the offensive coordinator, Shanahan, is gone, so that team just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Also, Sarkisian is really bad. He's not really bad.
Yeah. Also, I mean, the fog affected the game somewhat, but yeah, no, those other things are more systemic. But, like, the second half, I mean, nobody was passing because you couldn't see anything.
The third tight end backfired because Kittle's and Vince didn't do shit. He started Kittle?
Yeah, he started Kittle over Doug Martin.
That feels like a mistake. Yeah, a difference of 7.4 points. His joke. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah. And then
I've got a bench full of injured losers who are nursing their injuries in the locker room. They don't want to play. I mean, don't want to play. They don't want to win. That's a bad combination.
I mean, Cooper Kupp had 15 points on the bench. He certainly did better than Decker.
It's 15 points on the bench. Oh, it might have.
Yeah.
This team is going in the garbage. You watch. This whole lineup will be gone. I don't even know what to do with fat shit Alfred Morris. This Ezekiel Elliott mockery is never going to happen. I'm wasting a roster spot on this fat piece of crap. He's gone.
Well,
So, Darren, you've already dropped Darren McFatass, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing to do with Dave with Morris.
yeah, I had enough.
But you also started Brett Hundley. It seems I had to because he was on a bye. My superstar quarterback's on a bye. There's nothing I could do.
Well, I mean, there was...
If you could have started Eli Manning, it would have been better. Yeah, but now you're just funding any quarterback. I would have told you this last week. Brett fucking Hundley? Did you watch him the week before? Oh, but are you kidding me? They're the dynamic duo.
He got a rushing touchdown.
Decker, Kevin Coleman, and Kittle. You could have won this game. You know what? I'm going to start Alfred Morris, Kittle, Hundley, and Decker next week. I'm going all out. All loser team.
Well, that's almost what it felt. It almost felt to me, because you were playing Lombardi, who's obsessed with your trade with Eugene. It almost felt to me like you were like, fine, I'm gonna beat you without Doug Martin. Even I'm gonna beat you without any elements of this trade. It's like almost what you were saying, and then you didn't. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna push the edge. I'm gonna go with Diggs and Shepard. I'm wondering if you didn't start your all loser team this week. You already started them.
You did. I mean, this this is a pretty loserful team. I mean, look, you edged out Lombardi in the RB2, with Smallwood getting 5.9 instead of 2.9 over Blount. But whoa, that's terrible. I mean, he had Tyrod Taylor who got 22, 21 from Evans, only 1.6 from Brown. Devonta Freeman clearly outplayed Coleman. And Zach Ertz, who keeps playing well, still outperformed Doyle. And then Derrick Henry barely outperformed Kittle. And then you both had like massive performances from your kicker, and your defense did better than his did. But this is just you just played a garbage lineup. And
you know what though? Once we get Deshaun Watson, back in the lineup, it's a totally different team with him and without him.
I agree.
Without who?
Deshaun Watson, yes, the court.
Up a lot of deficiencies.
Yes, he does. So how much? I don't think that we could question it, but how much has that hurt this team? He's your whole team almost at this point.
Literally, the whole team. Almost not what happened. You saw when we had the bird almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Pretty much. 64 points. Lombardi had he didn't even have a good game. He only got 100 points. But 64 is...
Last game, he had 45 points, so add another 30 points to my score, then suddenly this is instantaneously respectable.
Yeah.
I would have beat you on Thursday. You would have beat me in one day with 2 players.
Yeah.
2 players would have beat my whole team.
Yeah. Yeah, that just shows how bad...
Yet somehow it's not as funny because I still lost.
Well, because you didn't go against the Hagglers this week. You could have beaten the Hagglers this week, and another team that you could have beaten this week, which was our next game, Black Ice Dynasty, who decides to go off when he plays the Hagglers or when he plays my team, but when he plays House Targaryen, he clearly just treated this like a bye week. It's House Targaryen, it's Dr. Hagi, I don't even have to do anything. Well, apparently you have to do something, because... House Targaryen.
Even I beat House Targaryen.
You did when you played him, but this week you couldn't have. House Targaryen has the highest score of the week with 151.62 to the lowest score of the season, actually, 54.38.
Oh my god.
I don't even know where to start. What?
Carson Palmer's a bummer.
He got injured.
That's a problem.
He is, but he did get injured. But that still doesn't help. That wouldn't have helped him much more. Because T.Y. Hilton gets 4.7 points, 7.1 from A.J. Green, 5.4 from Gordon. McCaffrey got 11, 12 from Brait, 8.7 from Ivory, 0 from his defense, 1 from his kicker. This was just atrocious. And House Targaryen put it all together. His back was against the wall, and 40 points from Wentz.
And his back is still against the wall.
Yeah. 24 for Julio Jones.
He's still against the wall. He just got one butt cheek off the wall. The other butt cheek is still on the wall.
Oh, I think both butt cheeks are on the wall. I'm just saying they're
firmly on the wall still.
Yeah. He hasn't left the wall. The wall is still there.
It's slightly to the left on the wall.
Yeah.
How does Kai Forbath score 24 points for the kicker?
He didn't
even start a kicker until 5 minutes before the game.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't even... He almost didn't start it. He made like 3 of these substitutions right before 10 o'clock. I don't even remember. I think it was Richardson and somebody else. And then he played Lynch, who got 0.9 points before his suspension. This was just... the fact that he put this... he still got 6 points from his defense. Yeah, 24th from his kicker. 18 from Ingram. He finally played him. DeMarco Murray got 10 points. Duke Johnson with 13. 14 for Richardson. And Julio Jones finally showed up. And then 40 from Wentz. His butt cheeks are going to be planted to that wall until the end of the season. But, you got to hand it to him. He played... he almost didn't need to playing against a 54.38 score for a minor. But, Yeah.
He could have started. He could have started no Carson Wentz and no Julio Jones. Still won.
He could have started his kicker and his quarterback, and he would have won.
Wow. Oh my god.
And that is literally true.
I mean, okay, what else? He could have started his quarterback and Ingram. His quarterback and Duke Johnson. No, maybe not Duke Johnson.
He would have had a narrow loss had he...
And Ingram. And that's it.
Yeah. There's innumerable combinations. He could have started his kicker, his tight end, and then Julio Jones. I mean, there's like numerous combinations that he could have done. Like it would have been hard for him to lose this game. And he only left 10 points on the bench. Meanwhile, Miner left 79 points on the bench. He left 30 for Winston, 15 for Kamara. I mean, the Winston thing. I mean, like, he's been playing Winston all this time. I don't understand why he sat him this time, but I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Just a pathetic performance there. And Dr. Hockey, good for him. He gets himself off the schneid. Good for him.
Yeah, good schneid, Dr. Hockey. Well played.
I don't know. What game do we go to next? We can go to my game, whatever. Yeah, 133-97 victory. I actually thought this was going to be a really tough game going into it. But, I don't know. I mean, I think the Adrian Peterson only getting 4.3 points hurt them. C.J. Anderson with 7 points. Alshon Jeffrey with 5. Brady really didn't have that. I mean, they're big three. So, of Gronk only gets 8.1 points. So, yeah, I mean, Antonio Brown gets only 16, Brady 22, and 8 for Gronk. And then Adrian Peterson 4 points. I mean, we've now called them a four-headed monster, but all four heads were not that. They didn't perform this week, and then nobody else did either, except for maybe their kicker too. I actually picked up Teddy Ginn he was who I dropped McFaddass for 5 minutes before the game. I was like, I think he's gonna have a big game, but I'm not enough to play him. And I sat him up. What?
Well, you got the New Orleans effect.
Yeah.
I mean, the Green Bay effect. Sorry.
I know. I mean, I thought, so my whole thinking was, one, Thalian I thought he was going to get, because Diggs is still out, and last week he got 18 points. This week, he, Diggs was still out, so I was like, all right, I'll play him, and he still only gets 9 points. It's ridiculous. Amendola gets a pathetic 4.7. I mean, Hogan got, I guess, more touches there, but, my bench did reasonably well, other than Jordan Matthews.
You started the New Orleans defense. Brave as fuck.
Well, look at what they've done in the weeks before this. The week before, they got 31 points. The week before that, they got 16. And the week before that, they had 14 points. This week, they chose to get 4.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and they were going against Green Bay with Hundley behind. I was like, you got 31 points the week before, and now you're going against Hundley? This seems ripe for some turnovers, but apparently it didn't happen. So,
It did not.
I don't know. I mean, there's still some problems. I mean, the 1603ers are still suffering from not having Odell Beckham and not really having consistent receivers. I mean, a total of 13 points from their receivers is not making me happy, But everybody else, showed up pretty much. So I'm happy with the win. I think we performed fine, and they underperformed, so that gave us the win. And I'm happy with it. It was tremendously important to stop the bleeding, especially after the week before where I lost to Whalers by 2 points because of my own boneheaded decisions. So I'll take it. All right, next game, Nikki Baby versus Dave's Secret Crush. Yeah, Eugene just keeps rolling. Le'Veon Bell with another double digits game, 22 points. Russell.
Tell Lombardi. I'm sure he already knows.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, he's in love with the man, so why would he? He probably sends him like love letters and texts and tweets all the time. 32 points for Russell Wilson, 16 for Cooks this week, 24 for Baldwin, and 15 points for Whitney.
Shame on Nicky Baby. That 4.58 from Marsky. He earned that. He deserves that score.
Yes. I mean, you want to talk about somebody else who picked up a garbage quarterback. I mean, look, he had Aaron Rodgers. Now you lose him, and that's a big difference. And he traded to get Stafford, but he was on a bye. What? Right. Right. So Stafford, I guess, who is I guess now his main quarterback now that Rodgers is out. Or he had Dalton. He could have at least played Dalton. But, he chose Trubisky. Out of all of the quarterbacks that were left, that's who he chose. So, yeah. Gets only 4.58 from him. 11 from Crabtree. And then, I mean, he was very Green Bay dependent anyway. So 3.2 from Adams. So that hurts him. Fournette, I mean, I don't even think he played. He got 0 points. Ingram got 21, okay. Jordan Reed, 26. And Deshaun Jackson, 12 points. And then 0 from his kicker. And Jacksonville, his best player, by far, gets him another 20 points. It's ridiculous. So...
10 sacks? That seems ridiculous.
I know. And 0 points allowed. So, yeah. I mean, Nicky Baby is clearly... I mean, he was rolling along, everything, he was in contention for first place, and then Aaron Rodgers went down, and now he's just trying to put together the pieces, but you can't do it with Trubisky. I'm sorry. Especially not against Eugene, who's, ever since the Le'Veon Bell trade, clearly is, I don't think he's lost since then, has he? No.
I don't think he's found the answer to pair with Bell, though, because Powell was replaced by Darkwa. That's his version of Powell. It's just another Powell substitute.
Yeah. I mean, Powell got 10 points, so... He still doesn't have that second RB, but, still got a good team. Alright. And then, last game of the week, the Whalers continues to win. After that 2-point victory the week before against me, he ends up getting a second win in a row, which really helps him. He's now to 3-4. He's in 8th place. He beats the Lightning Rods 130 to 109. Drew Brees with 23 points, 15 from Thomas. Michael Thomas, that is. Demarius only got 2.9. 12 from Hyde, 11 from Crowell. 8 from Dixon, whoever that is. Oh, that's that tight end guy. Yeah, he's not good. And really the difference in the game, of course, Ezekiel Elliott with 40.9 points.
Of course. Once again, I renew my objection. Why? Take away the 40 points from that guy, and I think Lightning Rods actually wins.
He does. He does.
How many teams would like to file a grievance? Why? He was wrongly... Well, I don't want to say all that. He was wrongly suspended.
Well, I don't even care. I just want I either want him suspended or not. This back and forth legal...
He hasn't been suspended for a single game. I don't understand why you think it's back and forth. He's played every game.
Yeah, but he was...
All the game.
He has. That's the problem.
All the game.
Right, he was...
Consistency.
He was Yes, but he was
was
unsuspended during the bye week, and then
I understand all of that. My point, though, is that the renewal of the objections comes when he hasn't missed a game. 0 games. He's missed no game.
Yes. Well, he was supposed to.
So it's not ambiguous. We were told. You had time to prepare. My objection has been consistent. He should not be playing any of the games. Well, yeah, but that gets into the concept of whether or not he should be suspended. And since you don't want to go there, I'm just saying, why do you think complain about it every week. Why do you say whether or not? It's no or not. He's been issued a suspension. What's the whole fraudulently?
I've been drinking. Fine, fuck it. Get into whether or not he should be suspended.
The woman at the center of the investigation did not get to render her opinion. She told Goodell that she was not a credible witness. The person who ran the investigation. What the details are. They've levied a suspension. It should be carried out. Unless it's an unfair suspension. Our federal judge is going to look into the holy roller, the immaculate restriction, and retroactively point out the immaculate. It's ridiculous.
I don't.
This is not. Well, no. False. It's a labor dispute. It's not a labor issue. Get out of here. Yes. It's not. It has nothing to do with whether or not he kept his feet in bounds on a pass. It has nothing to do with whether or not the immaculate restriction actually took place. Tackle.
Speaking of which,
Marshawn Lynch in the Raider game when he ran out onto the field. He want to police everyone back in. Again, it's not the same thing. Nothing to do with what happened when he's in the locker room, on the field, on the sideline. You know this. What a disingenuous argument. You know it has to do with the politics of football.
right? But I still like. I think.
Which is squarely in the jurisdiction of appellate courts.
Wait, you're.
NFL suspensions are not in the jurisdiction of anybody. You think, and clearly, you're wrong. Like, this is obvious that you're wrong. It's obvious that you're wrong because it's been 2 days, and every time they fight this out, it's in court. So you're obviously wrong. You're clearly and obviously wrong. Why is it clearly and obviously? There is no jurisdiction to go to court in the first place. Because even the NFL is looking for recourse in the court. This is obviously a battle that has to be fought in court. Atkinson knows his way into something that 3 of them, by the way, and in every single dispute that has gone on between player and owner has had a judge stay a suspension. So this idea that it's one road judge is nonsense. Nonsense. His fumble. Nonsense. Why is this a terrible argument? Over his fumble. What a terrible argument. What a terrible argument. There's never been a court case about a football play. There's never been a.
There should be because that Safarian one was garbage. I think that Safarian fumble was not a fumble. I think the Jets should take that to court because they could have won that game.
It was a fumble. Why not?
It was not.
It was a fumble. Clearly, the courts have jurisdiction over everything. That's not what they're claiming. I mean, like, it's so obviously not what they're claiming that it's kind of farcical. It's not what they're claiming. I'm surprised. I know David. I know David is messing around. I really do.
Accurate.
I really hope for the intellectual quotient of this league that you're actually joking. Oh yeah, the millennials is such a Rhodes Scholar. We're so sorry. We've offended your higher learning. Well, I mean, the moment you make a cogent argument, I'll be here listening, waiting for it. A what argument? What is that's the problem. Eagle hour? Eagle jargon hour? Cogency?
I'm just eating my taco.
Moving on. Moving on. Oh yes, moving on from the rest of the ritual. You don't understand much. Loaded jargon. What is cogency? Oh my goodness. Look, man. Oh my goodness. This simpleton. Let's move on. Let's move on. Where do you get such players? What is Simeon?
I have about 3 more bites to my taco, so by all means, continue.
Oh my god, Rebecca's stuffing his face with tacos. That's because Harbakian knows enough to not argue with me. No, that's because Harbakian knows the audience that he's dealing with. No, he knows the lost cause. He's lost too many arguments to me and at work, so he knows better.
I just no, I had 2 beers and watched the Dodgers lost, so I'm fully entertained by this. So Cam Newton gets 9 points.
I finally saw the preview for that Denzel Washington movie where he plays Odwin's character.
Louis Israel, or Roman Israel the third, or Esquire or something. Yeah.
Totally awesome.
It is completely Odwin. I called Odwin up when I saw that preview, and I was like, "That is you."
I am gonna have to see that movie now.
I know.
Just picture Odwin throughout the whole thing.
I know. It is Denzel Washington playing Dr. Hockey. It's. All right. So Newton gets 9.44 points for the Lightning Rods. I mean, what else do we even have? I mean, he actually had a decent game. 25 points from.
The Lightning Rods got massacred. Move on.
25 points from Hill, 19 from Bryant.
Hell of a game.
What?
I mean, hell of a player, Ezekiel Elliott. He's rounding into form.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's Elliott. The whole game was based on Elliott. That's it.
Yeah, he was a beast. He's so good at the football.
He is clearly, end of the law.
Well, no, he's gonna lose his case, but
I mean, you think he's? I mean, he'll probably be suspended next year. It's kind of like what happened with Tom Brady, where he had to serve.
It's dumber than that. He's probably gonna get suspended for the playoffs.
You think?
Because he's much further down the road on the appeal than Brady was at this time last year or 2 years ago.
I guess. I don't know.
He only has one more hearing left.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not going to the Supreme Court. So, like, when they rule in December that he has to be suspended, fuck.
I know. He should have just served the 6 month or the 6 weeks beforehand.
Yeah, he should have earlier.
Yeah.
But he decided he's going to be a hero about it, a martyr about it.
Yeah, well.
And he's gonna miss their home playoff game against Seattle, and they're gonna lose.
Probably true. But in the meantime, Wellers is going to benefit from it, and he moves to 8th place or whatever. Whereas Gayton now has the same record, 3-4. All right. Well, I think that's all the games, so we can move on to this week's games. What's happening in the upcoming week? I mean, first of all, everything is up in the air. I don't even know what... I mean, between... Well, I'm not going to say last place, because Dr. Hockey, not really. But even through the Millennials and Geese... I mean, there's like what is there, a 2-game, 3-game difference between first and last? I mean, it's ridiculous. We're already past the halfway point of the season. And everybody still, theoretically, has a shot in this league. I mean, except for Dr. Hockey, but, you know... I mean, he technically does. But well, let's start with the game for first place. Dave's Secret Crush versus the 1603ers. The game that determines who will be the top and who will be the bottom in this game. Well,
wow.
Well, you know.
Innuendo all about.
Well, I mean, it is Dave's Secret Crush, so, you know, versus Dave. So, let's see.
Go ahead.
Well,
You're slated to lose.
Well, I don't want to be... Well, I certainly don't want to be a bottom, ever. But whatever. Anyway. It's actually a really close matchup. The projection right now is 134 to 127. But if you look like...
Yeah, you're going to lose.
Well, first of all, I'm not going to pick myself, because every time I haven't picked myself, I have won. So because I'm a jinx, just like I did with the Dodgers tickets that I gave up, which is why I wasn't at the game. But I'm certainly going to pick Eugene's team to win.
Good job on you by that.
Yeah, I know. Great. I'm great at these things. So I'm totally going to pick Eugene to win this game, in the hopes that he doesn't. But in analyzing the game, It is close. So you have Cousins versus Dallas. That's a good matchup. And you have Russell Wilson versus Houston. I think that's also a good matchup. Then you have the two New England wide receivers going against each other, Cooks versus Hogan. It really depends on who Brady wants to throw to. Who does Brady want to win in this game will determine a lot. Then you have Baldwin versus Fuller, both in that Seattle versus Houston game. So he needs Wilson to, throw to Baldwin, and I just need Houston to be on the ball. I need Watson Yayas to continue to throw to my guy. But then he has DeAndre Hopkins also in that game. At the flex position, I'm right now going with Thompson. We'll see if I stick with him. I might put in Teddy Ginn, or I might put in... I have a bunch of options. I don't know. But right now, let's say that I go with Thompson because he's been ridiculously good. And then you have Le'Veon Bell versus Kareem Hunt. But Hunt is playing Denver, and Bell is playing Detroit. So certainly a better matchup for Bell there. But then one of the real differences, McCoy versus Oakland. I think that is a favorable matchup. And Bilal Powell versus Atlanta. Maybe a favorable matchup, but it's still Bilal Powell. Kelsey versus Witten. I'd certainly pick Kelsey over Witten there. And like I said, Thompson versus DeAndre Hopkins. I would pick Hopkins over Thompson, and then... the New Orleans defense, again, going against Chicago versus the Philadelphia defense versus San Francisco. That's a good matchup there, too. I don't know. I think this is a tremendously close game. This is... First of all, this game will determine first place. I don't know if it will determine second place, because it depends on what Lombardi does. But the winner of this game will almost certainly continue to be in first place and look really... good going into the playoffs. The other team, gets pulled back down into the dog pile. So, I don't know. Your thoughts on this game? Okay.
Secret Crush takes it.
You think my crush takes it?
I think he's going to be the top now.
You're just saying that because
Of
you
the league.
want that, or because you think it?
Well, a little both. I think Le'Veon Bell, Cook, and Russell Wilson are the key ingredients to, and DeAndre Hopkins really, I just don't think that you can keep relying on Thompson and Hogan to get you, to overcome the at least projected deficit. I think there's a lot more sure things on Dave's Secret Crush's side than yours.
You think Cooks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tom Brady is fifth in the league on deep balls. He's also third in the league in deep ball attempts. Most of that going to Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is averaging 14 yards per reception.
Yeah, but but his point totals have not been as I guess over the last 3 weeks they have been 13, 15, and 16. But then there's been a couple weeks where he only got 7 or whatever. But then again, the same kind of thing with Hogan. Hogan 11, and then the week before 2. But then before that he had 21, 17, 22, and 18. So it's really, I don't know. Because Hogan gets touchdowns also. That's another thing. But
touchdowns are unreliable.
That's true. I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. Do you think? I don't know. Do you think it'll at least be close?
I think it's gonna be close.
Right.
But I certainly don't think there's gonna be one team that runs away with it. But
yeah.
I think the bottoms have a more reliable squad.
Yeah. Well, and you could certainly. You don't know Eugene, but let me tell you, he was the original you. So I could see a.
I don't feel good about the correlation.
I just mean he was a
No, move on. It's fine.
He was a loudmouth, braggadocious guy that underperformed way before you.
Loudmouth, trash talking idiot. But you know what? Still well loved. I'll take it. He's one of ours.
Yeah. All right, Geese, your thoughts on this game itself?
This is a very close one to call, man. I'm not sure if I'm feeling Fuller. That's an interesting move right there. An attempt to mix up Fuller. Your superstar kicker is out of there. Butker is picked up. The New Orleans defense seems to string defenses fairly well. He's got Bilal Powell. Cooks doesn't always play up to potential. This is very interesting.
I know.
Witten's just a cast off. He's every team's tight end whore. This is really close. He doesn't have any teams. He just keeps the same guys. Some of these guys cycle through everybody's team. John Baldwin, you can't count on him to have a monster game every week. Like, he usually can balls. And then he pops out a 26 and a 24-point game. Otherwise, his weeks are very, very average.
Yeah, I mean, he had 7 and 8, 10, 10, and 26. But so when he has a good game, he has a good game, and when he doesn't, he doesn't. So.
Great analysis. Defense, I see. I'm gonna go with our back and edge and now Eugene. Very close, but our back and takes it.
Well, we'll certainly see. I'm sure Eugene is listening and will pick himself. All right, well, let's look at the team that stands to benefit most from this game, because one of the teams has to lose that game, which means that if the Blues can beat Nicky Baby, which right now they're heavily projected to do, 125 to 82, then they would move into second place. So he's got Phillip Rivers going against New England, which is a terrible defense against everything, frankly. Evans going versus Carolina, Allen versus New England. I think that bodes well for him. Devontae Freeman at the Jets. Blount versus San Francisco. Zach Ertz versus San Francisco. And Lamar Miller, who cares, at Seattle.
Hey, Lamar Miller's a respectable chap.
Sure. I mean, I think these matchups are ridiculously good for Lombardi this week. Let's look at the Nicky Baby side of this coin. Matthew Stafford versus Pittsburgh. I mean, he's at least at home, but oof, that's tough. Crabtree at Buffalo. I mean, no.
Always take Detroit in the dome.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he's not done that well, Stafford, in terms of points this year. But all right.
Mark my words.
I mean, he might. Okay.
He's going to outperform Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
My lock of the week.
All right. Crabtree against Mike Evans?
Going back to Terrell Pryor every time. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't even know why either. Terrell Pryor's horrid. I'm assuming he's not going to play Fournette?
He's a third string.
What?
Third string wide receiver, right?
I don't know. He's just awful.
I'm pretty sure he's down the third.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't really have anybody else. I mean, who's he going to play? Emmanuel Sanders Chicken at KC? I mean, I don't know. Is he even playing?
Play a running back and play Deshaun Jackson and
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Although, I would put Jordan Reed in there. I mean, how do you not play Jordan Reed right now? And he has to put a running back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have to play. What?
So you can play Jordan Reed as your flex, or put Jordan Reed as your flex and change out your running back.
Well, he has to take out Fournette anyway.
Yeah, and then run. Well, yeah, then run Jackson instead of Pryor, and then have two tight ends as your flex, because unlike Geese, they're actually two good tight ends.
I mean, that's true.
I don't know. Was Cook really that good?
I don't know if he...
I mean, he's serviceable, and it's Oakland's offense. They should be fine. Now, Nick loves him. As he should. They're a point-scoring machine.
Yeah, well, I don't know. And then he has to... Oh, and this is the week that he doesn't have the Jacksonville defense, which, that's going to hurt him.
That's a bonanza.
Yeah.
Down one of his superstars.
He is.
He has the New England defense.
They're horrid.
Well, they were really good last week. They were poop fest before that.
Sure, but how many points did they get? They got 7 points last week. Scintillating numbers there.
Well, I I was grading on turf. They were at like somewhere around 0 the other week.
That's fine, but in this one, they had 1 sack, which means, and they gave up 7 points. They were not good. I don't see Nicky Baby winning this game. I just don't. Even if he needs to.
Why not? I think if he fills in the holes on his team from people that have buys and he starts the right players, Jordan Reed can't go off against Dallas who can't guard tight ends.
Well, Lombardi's pretty smart.
Stafford at home.
Cincinnati defense versus Indianapolis. That's a great pickup. Indianapolis is so small.
Yeah.
Well, they quit on their coach. It's kind of over for him. So.
Yeah.
I think St. Louis Blues probably has this just because Philadelphia is playing San Francisco at home.
Yeah.
And he has Blunt
and Ertz.
That's all you really need to know.
Yeah, exactly. And then you add the other pieces in there. I think the Blues have this game running away. I don't even see this being close. Right now, this is my top contender for lock of the week. We'll see if there's anything else. We'll see. We'll have to.
Oh, we're still doing lock of the week?
Oh yeah, but it's an early contender. I haven't analyzed all of these games yet, so I'll let you know if it's there afterwards. But
AKA, you haven't seen who Dr. Hockey is.
Exactly.
You haven't had a thorough chance to look at Dr. Hockey's situation.
Speaking of which, let's go there. House Targaryen,
Okay.
78 points.
Look at this.
Oof.
Buys and suspension.
Oof.
A lineup riddled with buys and suspension.
Ooh, so suddenly, so you're saying there's a chance. All right, 78 points projected for hockey. I mean, who knows what his lineup will be come Sunday. And the Whalers looking to get back. What?
I feel like the other matchup was more of a slam dunk.
I think so too, actually. But I don't know. Let's see. So the Whalers looking to get back to 500. So he's got Drew Brees versus Chicago. That's pretty good. But hockey has Carson Wentz versus San Francisco. I don't know. I'm going to give the edge to hockey there. Julio Jones of the Jets versus Michael Thomas versus Chicago. I'm going to give the edge to Dr. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they are. That's actually true. They got like 31 points last week, I think. Richardson versus Demaryius Thomas. I'm going to give the edge to Richardson. Duke Johnson versus Carlos Hyde. Well, Hyde gets the edge there. Crowell versus a guy on bye. I'm certainly going to give it to Crowell, although not actually. If hockey... What?
You really think that Duke Johnson gets the edge over Carlos? I mean, that Carlos Hyde gets the edge over Duke Johnson?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's not... I mean...
Have you seen Philly's defense?
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
And they're going to pack the box because the quarterback for San Francisco, whoever it is,
yeah,
is really bad.
Yeah. All right.
They're going to be eight in the box the whole game.
Fair point. Okay. Yeah. So does hockey have any other running? He has Latavius Murray.
Yeah, he's the second.
He picked up Latavius Murray.
And Marlon Mack. Look at that.
Latavius Murray actually stole carries and touchdowns from McKinnon last week.
Yeah, he did, which is actually what hurt you.
Twist.
Yeah. I think he's got to put in Murray. I mean,
not that it's going to help him win or anything. It's just
right.
Ezekiel Elliott's going to score 1 million points against Washington. So.
Yeah, he will. I mean, he does every week. Murray is on a bye, so he's going to have to put in the other Murray. And then he's got. I don't even know why he continues to keep Hooper in there. Like, what is this obsession with Hooper? Put in Ingram. Oh, Ingram's on a bye. I guess you got to keep.
Yep.
Oh God, Hooper. All right, and Lynch is suspended, so I mean he has nobody on his bench. He has a projected like 10 points on his bench. I guess he's got to put in Marlon Mack. Oof.
Yay.
And then he's got to pick up a defense. Yeah.
Maybe he's going to the Laker wire.
He probably will. This won't even be the same hockey team, but I mean, even though I'm giving the edge to hockey on all of these top, like on the top 4, the other half of the team is just horrific. I don't know, but I think the Whalers have some tough matchups. I mean, Demaryius Thomas against KC and Michael Thomas versus Chicago. I don't think that any of these are good. I mean, I'm going to pick the Whalers to win this game, but I'm not fully confident in it.
Look at these matchups. Hyde versus Philadelphia, Crowell versus Minnesota, and Howard versus Carolina. These are brutal.
Yeah.
These are atrocious. That's the only reason hockey even has a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
I agree.
Yeah. But we're all picking the special team?
Correct.
Alright, yeah, that's what I thought.
Despite the upset over Minor, I had to go with the special team.
Yeah. I think Whalers moves back to 500. Very impressive it would be, actually. Alright. Lightning Rods versus Nick and Jamie. Nick and Jamie coming off a tough loss last week. Right now they're a projected favorite, 127 to 110. Brady versus the Chargers. Antonio Brown at Detroit. Alshon Jeffrey versus San Francisco. He might actually do it right there. And then C.J. Anderson, and are they going with Dion Lewis? Interesting. At the Chargers, then Gronk at the Chargers. I mean, how good a game? I mean, basically, as it always comes down to, how good a game do you think Tom Brady and the Patriots are going to have versus the Chargers? It's a 1 o'clock game or a 10 a.m. game, depending on what you're looking at it. A West Coast team going back east. I think they actually do have a good game. For the Lightning Rods, I mean, Cam Newton at Tampa Bay, Tyreek Hill versus Denver. Oof. Des Bryant at Washington, I think that's okay. Jay Ajayi at Baltimore. Mixon versus Indiana. Rudolph at Cleveland. He picked up J.J. Smith-Schuster at Detroit. Shyster. And then, I think the Patriots do fine. I think Antonio Brown gets his points. I think this is not much of a contest. I think Nick and Jamie win this game. Anyone disagree or agree?
I think Nick and Jamie can. You know what? If they put Jones, the running back from Green Bay, the only one who's doing anything in Green Bay is Jones. All the other people have getting 3 points that we've talked about from Green Bay. 3 points.
Yeah.
They suck. Jones is the only one doing anything. So if they somehow sneak him into the lineup instead of this Richard guy. Why is he on the team? Then I think they just destroy everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's an important matchup for both these teams. I mean, they're both 3-4. The one who loses this.
Peterson, is he on a bye?
Oh,
yeah, it's the only reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jones, look at this. Their whole team, their whole bench is on a bye. I've never seen that.
Yeah. Except for Jamal Charles.
That's
Yep.
brutal. So everybody they have to go with.
Yep. So this is the lineup they're going with, basically. I mean, yeah, I still think they win. I mean, this is a huge game for both these teams because the winner goes back to 500 and 4-4. The loser is 3-5. It's tough to pull out of that at that point. So, I mean, they got to do everything they can, both of these teams. I mean, I think that these are two actually decent teams that just took a bunch of L's that have hurt them. I think that they're better than their records indicate, both of them. But this might be the end of the road for one of the two. We have the battle for the top, and then the battle at the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely going with Nick and Jamie, though, in this game. I think everybody is as well, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So now we have Miner's team, Black Ice Dynasty, who had the lowest score of the season last week, which means that he's due to rebound and get some ridiculous score, going against the Millennials right now. Black Ice Dynasty is favored by a point. But you both have players on buys that are going to affect that. I'm sure you're going to fix up there. Alex Smith versus I think Alex Smith versus Denver. I think he'll do okay. Do you think Amari Cooper's going to have another good game against Buffalo? You think he's back, or you think it's just a flash in the pan?
Amari Cooper, it's hard to say. He was doing nothing up until that one game. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of Amari Cooper bandwagon riders. He's back. His numbers were abysmal prior to that game.
He's back.
I mean, if he's back,
He's all the way back.
if he's back, then this becomes a much
19 targets, 11 back, 10%. He's not going to duplicate that at all.
especially against Buffalo.
Not going to do that against Buffalo, but he's back.
Fuck, it's 19 targets. What, did everybody else die in the locker room? That's ridiculous.
Well,
19 targets? That's incredible.
well, I think he'll have. No, I think he's not back. I think that was a.
No, he's not back.
He's certainly not back like that. I mean, no.
I think Buffalo's defense is actually good.
Right.
He's not going to have a game, obviously, anywhere near like that. But I think he's back in the sense that he'll get consistent targets. And he'll start catching the football at a reasonable, at least 10 at the floor, 17, 18 at the maximum. That's what I mean by back.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think he gets double digits this week. I think he hits his projection. I don't know. Kelvin Benjamin versus... Oh, wait. So, obviously, Miner's not going to play Carson Palmer. He's going to play Jameis Winston versus Carolina. I certainly give the edge to Alex Smith in that matchup. T.Y. Hilton at Cincinnati versus Cooper. Who do you think has the better game, T.Y. Hilton or Amari Cooper? Because you never know with T.Y. Hilton. He is an enigma. Some games he gets 28, 24 points. All the rest he gets single digits, 4 points, 2 points. I don't know. I think T.Y. Hilton has a bad game. Well, against Cincinnati, yeah, I think he does.
I think badly. But I think A.J. Green on the other hand.
Versus Indianapolis, yes. I mean, they're playing each other. I think A.J. Green has the good game. I mean, like a really good game.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It's certainly a better game than Kelvin Benjamin's going to have. Jordan Howard at New Orleans. He could.
Give me points. Back up the Brinks truck for points.
Okay.
I don't think so. Last week, Chicago's offense scored 3 points.
Doesn't matter.
They won that game 3-0 because the defense scored 2 touchdowns. 17-3 was the final, and the defense scored both of those touchdowns. They have no offense.
I understand that. Jordan Howard's going to feast.
21 carries for 65 yards is not scintillating numbers.
He's going to feast against the Division II college defense that is the New Orleans Saints defense. It's fine.
Was Trubisky, handing it off to him the whole time because he can't throw?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Melvin Gordon, he can have a good game against New England?
Yes, because New England can't defend the run.
Yeah. McCaffrey against Tampa Bay?
I think McCaffrey's a little bit overrated. I think McKinnon is playing Cleveland.
So do you think McKinnon gets the touches again this week, or do you think it's going to go to...
I think it won't matter. I think he'll be up 24 at the end of the second quarter, and they're going to run the ball 50 times.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Don't play this will get...
I don't know what to think of McKinnon because Murray gets, if you look at his stats, Murray gets 15 to 18 carries every single game. So McKinnon's under a lot of pressure to get anything done with his carries.
Also, it's the London game, which means crazy crap happens in those London games.
Yeah, like McKinnon going... They're sending Cleveland to London?
Yeah, they're sending Cleveland and Minnesota to London.
What a jerk move by the league. Anyway, I have to figure out what I'm going to do at tight end.
Yeah, you're gonna need to pick up somebody.
And kicker and defense.
You're finally playing Aguilar after all this time against San Francisco. That's a wise move, finally. I think Miner plays Kamara. He should, at least, in that flex position. I mean, granted, it's dependent. I mean, and Geese can attest to the garbage pile that is what is left of the tight end market. I don't know who you're going to pick up. But good luck with that. But yeah, barring some ridiculous tight end that you pick up and a great defense, maybe that Chicago defense, and an amazing kicker, I'm going to go with Miner winning this game.
Minor, huh?
Hmm?
Really?
Well, I think AJ Green.
Fuck AJ Green.
I think Gordon is going to be the only thing that does anything at New England because their defense, well, at least on his team. McCaffrey, I think he'll have 10 points. Brait keeps getting points, by the way, and I think he's going to play Kamara, who will do okay.
All right.
And
I'm gonna predict I'm gonna win this game.
Shocker.
Obviously.
Keys? I mean, I'd like to see you win this game, actually, because it helps everybody in the standings. So I'm certainly rooting for your team this week. But, I don't know. But
McCaffrey, great. Minor makes all the moves on Sunday, right before the game starts. It's hard to, based on this slop of a lineup you got in there, it's hard to say.
that's true. Although, he is coming off the worst performance of the season, so by any team. So it's possible. I mean, this is the thing about Miner. Some weeks, it depends on which team shows up for him. If he has a great team that shows up, T.Y. Hilton, I don't know. Depends on which team shows up for him. If it's his A team.
McCaffrey is great. Millennials, I think this week he goes back to being Amari Cooper. I'm gonna have to go with Black Eyes Dynasty.
Oh, you guys are the worst.
Well, you don't know. Miner's team is not even on. It's completely different on Sunday morning. All these guys are gonna be out of it.
Don't tell me my team. That's 3 guys. I'm starting on.
Yeah, but Miner's ability to find talent is. I have to go with Miner.
I don't know. I'm not even going with that. I'm gonna say this. You are either going to blow out Miner or you are going to get blown out by Miner. It's like there's no in between for that guy. Like he either comes out of nowhere and blows a team out, or he just has a horrific performance. I feel like he's like a roulette table gambler who just puts it on whatever number he wants, and then sometimes it hits, and it's like, holy crap, where did that come from? And then other times it's like, yeah, you busted. Maybe it's not the best analogy, but like I said, I've been drinking. But anyway, I don't know. He's totally unpredictable. I think that you will get somewhere in the 110 to 120 range this week, and then it just depends on what he does. So, there's hope. Speaking of...
That's what you got to do. There's hope.
What's that?
That's what you got for me. There's hope.
There's hope. That's what I have for you, yes.
Alright, let's move on.
Alright. Speaking of hope and dying hopes, the Hackettstown Hacklers versus Tillett Trey team. Right now, Tillett Trey is favored 97-78 over the Hagglers, but you get Deshaun Watson-Yayos back against Seattle. Now, that's a tough matchup, but I don't think it matters for Yayos because he's that good.
I don't think we have a choice. We're going with him win or lose from now on.
Oh, clearly. And then, Tillett has Todd Gurley, Jordy Nelson, Martellus Bennett, and Sammy Watkins all on a bye. So, he's quite vulnerable this week. He's going with Dak Prescott at Washington. I think that that's a good matchup, but I think Deshaun Watson, Yayas will keep pace. I think that they'll actually both be close. Then you have Jordan Landry at Baltimore. They're a tough defense, and you have Sanu at the Jets. I actually give Sanu somewhat of a favorable matchup there. Pierre Garçon at Philadelphia. Now, Garçon has been sneakily good, but he only got 9 points last week, so against nobody. So I'm going to go with Garçon right now while you're playing nobody, but I probably will go with somebody if you put him in there. Is Diggs coming back?
Well, they're in the process of all being thrown in the garbage right now, so
Yeah.
that's why there's an empty spot.
I mean, is Diggs coming back?
No, I think he's going to come back after the bye because he's a little leech.
All right, well then, I don't know. Well, we'll see who you put in there. Everybody else for you is on a bye, by the way. Cooper Kupp, Sterling Shepard, Alfred Morris because of the court system. So, I don't know. We'll see who you put in there. Frank Gore versus Doug Martin. Obviously, I give the edge to Doug Martin. Jonathan Stewart versus Tevin Coleman. I give the edge to Coleman, only because Stewart sucks. Didn't he get, like, negative points a couple weeks ago? Like, he got negative 0.4 points.
Have a lot of options.
What?
A lot of people on a bye.
I know, he has no options. I'm not saying that this... I mean, this is the team that he has to put out there because his whole team's on a bye. This is the best that I think that he could put out. You've got Graham against Doyle. I'm going to give the edge to Graham in that one. Parker versus nobody. Like I said, I'm going to give the edge to Parker over nobody, but we'll see who you put in there. I certainly, if you put in Kittle, I'm not going to give anything. I mean, that guy needs to be flushed down the toilet, like, now. I think Doyle's the one that you keep. I don't know. Look, it's tough to call. I'm gonna give a conditional. I'm conditionally going to give this game to the Hagglers, depending on what they do, because I think that Tillett's 97 projection is them tapping out as much as they can this week because of everybody that's on a bye. So provided that you.
What they give him with all the starters, they only give him 97 points.
Yeah, because everybody's on a bye. This is probably Tillett's toughest week for the season. So, and this is a must-win for you. It'll bring you both to 500. You'll both be 4-4. It'll be a huge logjam at 400. This is a must-win for you, and Tillett is very vulnerable this week. I'm going to give you the game, provided that you put in the right people in those empty spots. And I think that it can exceed Tillett's 97 projection, but like I said, it's conditional based on what you do.
Interesting.
Assuming you're picking yourself.
I'm picking we're picking the Haggard. We were not done building this yet, so we'll see.
And Millennials, what do you think? Have you fallen asleep? It's fine.
What?
I said, who are you picking in the Hagglers versus Tillett?
I really did fall asleep, but I had you on mute, so I didn't say anything.
Talk about a snoozer.
That's for a while, too. Holy crap, what game are we on?
We're on the last game, Hagglers versus Tillett.
Sorry. I'm kidding. Wow, that was for a while.
I mean, to be fair, he did have 4 beers at the bar as opposed to my 2, but, you know.
I really did. I think the Tillett trade team. Well, there's a couple empty slots, so I have to fill in. I say that the fill-in's going to be good enough because there's crap on his bench. I will go narrow, ugly, sloppy win to Tillett trade.
Okay. I mean, that's fair, though I think that he's going to make the I'm going to have confidence that he's going to make the edits, which is why. And like I said,
Where are the edits coming from? I mean, Stephon Diggs, if he plays, could ball out Yaya versus Cleveland.
No, I'm saying. Well, first of all, I have to assume that Geese is getting rid of Kittles and Bits. I think he's going to go in the free agent market. I think. I mean, Alfred Morris. Are you really still holding on to him? Like, I mean, you better talk to that judge.
What to do with that fat piece of shit? I really don't know.
He's just bitter because Ezekiel Elliott isn't suspended.
I know. So I think that he's going to go into the free agent market and maybe find somebody to put in as replace. Like if you're asking me whether or not I think he could win with his bench, no, no.
He's already looking at the waiver wire right now.
Right? No. Let me make that clear too. If Geese puts his only bench players onto this roster for this week, then no, I don't pick him. But provided that he picks up somebody in free agency that can do something this week, sure. I think Tillett taps out at 97 because he has nobody on his bench. They're all on a bye, and this is the tough week for him. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're all drunk and sleepy and everything else, so we should finish it up. But before we do, what is everybody's lock of the week? I'm remaining with my St. Louis Blues destroying Nicky, baby. Even with House Targaryen in there. What?
Yeah, I'm going with that one too.
Yeah, I think it.
I like it off the bat.
Yep. Geese?
Walk of the week is special teams over Dr. Hunt.
Interesting.
Really?
Interesting. I'm not that confident in that game, to be honest with you. I think that we could have another upset here. But interesting.
I unfortunately agree with Harbakian.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a closer game than you think.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, time for us to all sober up and go to sleep. So, for the Millennials, Geese, and, whoever else, whatever. And for the Dodgers, and for the Astros, whoa, what hitters, my God. What a game that was, even though I'm not happy with the result.
It was a fantastic game.
It was a game for the ages. This was not a broadcast for the ages because of how good that game was. We couldn't possibly, whatever. So I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, goodbye.